If you don't know your major scales, you're making music way harder for yourself, and you're leaving opportunities, money, and hit songs on the table. This is the secret skill that separates amateurs from professional music producers, singers, songwriters, engineers, and musicians. And today, I'm going to make it easier for you. But first, what are scales in music theory? So a scale is a set of notes that work well together. It's a musical alphabet that musicians use to build melodies, chords, harmonies, and songs. So what's a major scale? A major scale is one of the most common scales and one of the most important types of scales in music. It sounds happy, bright, and uplifting. For an example, the C major scale is C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and C, which happen to be all the white keys. Every major scale follows the same pattern of steps between notes, which is whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. I'm going to show you how easy you can learn all of this in a second. But why is this important? Whenever you're playing a song, whether it's from scratch or you're playing along with your band, each song has a key. What does that mean? The key will tell you what scale the song is based on. It's like the home base for all notes, melodies, and chords. So for an example, let's say it's your homies, you have a drummer, a bass player, and you're on the keys. You guys have no songs together, but you want to jam out, or they're already playing a song. You can either pick a key or ask them what the key of the song is. And let's say the key is G, which is G major. So if the key is in G major, most of the song's notes and chords are going to come from the G major scale. So if you know your G major scale and you're with the homies jamming out, you would only play these notes. And that's it to stay safe. And those are the same notes that you can use to create chords that work well with that song that you're currently playing. But why is this the #1 skill for music producers, engineers, songwriters, singers to know? It's the foundation of writing a song, period. It's how you build chords, chord progressions. It helps you play, produce, write, and mix music faster and better. This skill also makes collaborations way smoother because you're speaking the same music language. This skill also saves you time and makes your work sound more professional. This also helps you build trust with clients, artists, and labels, which leads to more money and opportunities. So if you already know your major scale, you already know it's relative to the minor scale, which means they use the exact same notes, just from a different starting point. So for an example, that C major scale that we talked about that starts here at C, well, the A minor scale is the same exact thing, but it starts at A. So knowing your major scale will automatically unlock the minor scale, giving you double the power to create both happy and emotional moods. Because the minor scale, as you can hear, sounds more dark, sad, mellow. That being said, learning your scales isn't just music theory. It's the real foundation of writing great songs, building bass lines, catchy melodies, chord progressions, and even when you're mixing, you need to know the key of the project. So if you have vocals and you're using things like auto-tune, you know exactly what key to put it in, making everything smooth and professional. So now that you know how important it is to learn your major scales, I created a cheat sheet for finger positioning for each major scale. It's called the Major Scale Finger Pattern for Piano. It's a digital wallpaper for your desktop. There's also versions for your phone, so you can use it as a desktop wallpaper, an iPad wallpaper, pull it up on your phone, or just print it out. I'm also going to give away a signed Microwave Beats Volume 1 vinyl with a sticker, a signed poster, and signed vinyl for a scale challenge. So as of this video, it's the beginning of May. For the month of May, I challenge you to master all the notes in the major scale. You definitely need to master your right hand. But if you're feeling a little confident, master your left hand as well, and both of them together. All you have to do to enter this giveaway is download the scales finger position wallpaper for you to practice. I'll be able to see your email address and collect everyone's email. But if you want extra points and to get my attention, tag me on Instagram or TikTok or Threads at Sarah2Ill of you practicing your scales throughout the entire month. You don't have to do this every day. Once or twice throughout the month is enough for me, as long as I know that you're practicing and by the end of this month you feel more confident in playing your scales. But you have to practice every day on your own terms for at least 10 to 15 minutes. And this is how you do it. You're going to want to have a metronome, whether it's on your phone, your DAW. You can pull up a drum loop to have some fun, or you can have a real metronome. If you're a beginner, I would start off at a really low BPM, around 40 to 50 BPM, and gradually go up every single week. The next thing to have, which is the cheat code, I have my major scales finger patterns. That's my right fingering and my left fingering for each single note in the major scale. The cool thing about this guide is that it tells you exactly where your fingers belong, and it also doesn't place your thumb on any of the black keys, making it very smooth when you play. When you start off with your practice, you want to start off with using whole notes. Whole notes is one note every 4 beats. For an example, as you can see, it's very slow. Once you do that, you're going to go backwards in the same scale using whole notes. And then you're going to go up a half step to the next scale, which is going to be C sharp. Doing whole notes, and then you're going to do it the same thing with the D major scale, and then the D sharp, and then the E, and then the F, and so on, using whole notes. Once you've played all 12 major scales using whole notes, you're going to start all over using half notes. A half note is a note every 2 beats. So for an example, so you're going to play the C major scale, the C sharp, the D, so on and so on and so on until you complete every single note again in the major scales. And then you're going to start over back to the C major scale using quarter notes. A quarter note is one note every beat. So for an example, so you're going to go up the C major scale, down the C major scale, then do the C sharp, go up, down, then go to the D, so on and so on until you completed all 12 scales in the major scale. One last thing, you're going to start all over, and then you're going to do triplets. So triplets are 3 notes per beat. I like to say triplet, triplet, triplet in my head. So let me show you. So every day for 10 to 15 minutes, master all the notes in the major scale using a slow BPM, starting off with whole notes and half notes and quarter notes and then triplets. Master your right hand. Then when you feel confident in that really slow BPM, up the BPM. And then if you have an extra 10 or 15 minutes, do the exact same exercise on your left hand. And then combine them both together, doing the exact same exercise with a very slow BPM, slow rhythms, one note at a time, one scale at a time. Once you practice, this will come muscle memory. So when you start making music and someone hits you, if this is a G major scale, it's like, those are the keys that I use. And making music just becomes more easy. Collaborations, easy. Making money, getting opportunities, easy. So drop in the comments, have you mastered your major scales? Have you been thinking about it? You know, as a sample-based music producer, I've challenged myself. I've gotten piano lessons from Guitar Center, about 2 or 3 months worth, which was a game changer. Instead of me relying on samples or someone else, I know how to make music from scratch. I know how to be in a room with other musicians and other producers. And I also challenged myself to create my own album from scratch. It's called Sarah's Keys. It's my first album where there's no samples, it's just me playing. So make sure you guys check that out. And make sure you guys grab the major key finger positioning guide. It's at noquantize.com. And like I said, if you decide to practice this month, make sure you tag me. And I'm going to choose a random person to win a signed Microwave Beats vinyl from yours truly. Until next time, peace. We did it!